There's like a cheat grunts would try to do. They'd wear like a like spandex pantyhose. You know, they'd steal that shit from their girlfriends or their boyfriends and use that as an extra layer. And the theory is, you know, your skin rubs in your boots and you get friction. That's where you get your hot spots and blisters. The idea with the spandex is it's a very thin extra layer. So now a lot of the rubbing is happening between those two layers and not all on your skin. So that works if you're, you know, if it's like, I don't know, 10 to 12 miles or shorter, it'll work. If it's like a forced ruck pace, like you know, EIB pace and better, you're still going to get some friction there eventually. You're still going to get some hot spots. And if you never ruck, you will still tear your feet up. It's a band-aid to the symptom of an underlying problem. What's the problem? The problem is you don't fucking ruck enough. So I tell people all the time, you should ruck at least once a week, 4 miles. 4 miles is fine. Every now and then, like once a month, I'll do a 6 to 8 miler, and that's it. And I don't do 50 plus pounds or crazy stuff. I don't run. I just walk as fast as I can and try to meet that 15-minute mile. Running is great. If you're young and it doesn't bother you, you can run. If you want to get the best ruck time, I tell people not to run because you're cheating yourself out of getting those long strides. You should be able to, unless you're below 5'6", any man should be able to walk a 15-minute mile standard with gear. The only thing that should slow you down would be terrain. All right, so if we're out like in the Sear Challenge area, you ain't doing 15-minute miles. It's going to be like 23-minute miles. But like down on the coast and shit, it's like, dude, there's like literally zero excuse for me not to get sub 15-minute miles every time, no matter the distance. And it's because of the training, because I don't fucking run. It's like, again, people think I say not to run because I want you to be weak and fat, or I think you're going to get hurt. Like, no, if you're 80 years old, you probably shouldn't run with a ruck on. If you're 20-something years old, if you're not a puss, and if you're getting stronger in the process, you'll be fine. The reason we don't run on rucks is to practice that long stride. So you don't have to keep running. If you're on a forced ruck march with your unit, as soon as one dickhead starts to run, the two guys on the road, they start to run. The guys behind them, they'll start to run. Next thing you know, the guy in the back who can walk a 14.5-minute mile while 14-minute mile freaking pace, now he's got to run. You're forcing him to run, and you're doing this slingshot effect because you're an idiot that never trained, and now you got to jog. You can't just walk with your fucking gear on. That's why, like, we would always, like in training, we would always put the short guys up front. So they would set the pace, and we would say, don't fucking run, right? I ran on my EIB a couple times. I've run a lot on rucks. I still do sometimes. But when you have that long stride to meet that pace, you're training your feet, you're training everything for that. You're conditioning everything to the way you should be in rucking. As soon as you start running, you're taking a shorter stride and you're missing out on all kinds of conditioning. So anyway, back to the spandex and pantyhose. Like, if you're like, I don't know, let's say you're going to selection or you got an EIB 12 miler coming up and you fucked off and you haven't been training rucking in a while and you don't want to have to stop and tape up blisters and shit. Yeah, man, put that extra layer on your feet. Just make sure it's not going to flop down up into your shoe or inside your other sock and cause even more problems. But, you know, if you walk minimum 4 miles, 4 to 6 miles a week, every single week, and try to get a 15-minute mile pace while walking, conditioning yourself, like, you won't have those problems.